Listen, it's about 90 degrees in this room right now.
Oh, we have to do our intro.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Stone Cold Killers. This is a show where Max and I get very high, and then we tell you about a killer that we researched. That's pretty much it.
Cold reads. That was a good one.
Should I do another one?
No, I thought that was good.
Okay.
I was impressed.
And...
Alright. H.H. Holmes, you heard of him?
Possibly. But no,
I think you
don't-
have. I guess.
Maybe.
I think you have because he's pretty famous.
Okay, then maybe I have.
Not by name. You know, we don't like to tell.
H cubed. H.
It's cube 4 though.
But don't... Squared is the 2, so what do you...
To the third.
What's the third called?
To the third.
That's
Squared.
called cubed.
But a cube isn't. No. Chandler doesn't know him by name, but we'll get to whether or not she's a true crime fan. A true crime fan.
HH.
Of HHH. This little fella, that's what I called him in this, born Herman Webster Mudgett. Mudgett.
That's a terrible name.
A lot of the names in this are not.
Ew.
It's like, no, we're going to switch that
So
right
we're gonna
now.
call him H-E.
Well, and H.H. Holmes is just a better name. Like, he did one good move there.
Yeah.
Born in New Hampshire on May 16th. May babies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Taurus.
Yes. And his parents, Taurus, right? His parents were Levi Horton Mudgett and Theodate Page Price.
These are terrible names.
Yes, I agree.
Ugh.
Devout Methodists, so you know they were fun people, fun-loving childhood, I'm sure. And that's the gist. We're gonna be going for this episode because
This is in the 1800s?
this is the late 1800s.
Okay.
Born 1861. That's our starting point for our friend H.H. Holmes. This episode will be called Trust Him, He's a Doctor.
I think okay, continue.
No, I don't think it's who you think it is. Holmes graduated from high school at 16, which is young, from Phillips Exeter Academy, which is a bougie New England prep school. One of the oldest in the nation.
For gifted individuals.
Yes.
Like X-Men.
Exactly. Got married at 17 and then had a job teaching. And I was like...
Did he go to school?
I was like, dude, you are the same age almost as like the other
a
students.
teacher.
Very strange. Very young. We're going to learn H.H. Holmes did pretty well with the ladies. He had a good mustache. His first wife was a woman named Clara Lovering.
Huh.
That's the most normal name so far. And they had one kid together. But Holmes was like, this sucks. I'm not a sedentary being.
He killed the kid?
No, so actually he does not kill these people.
Oh, nice. He just leaves them.
He's like, I want a divorce because you've been infidelitous. And she's like, no, I haven't. So he never gets divorced. He stays married.
But he's like, you're committing infidelity, and then secretly he was.
Yeah.
That's how it always goes.
That's how trust...
Guilty dog barks.
Right.
First.
He's still married with a child, but leaves to go to med school in Michigan. So he went to med school, and this time period is interesting because they're really getting into the human dissection of bodies. Because there was the stigma where you don't mess. Like, you ever seen Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah.
Jack with Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Jack Sparrow. I know him on a first name basis. And it's like a very interesting that they're actually going in the body as opposed to like treating it like a holy spirit that you don't desecrate. And that is why we have good science now.
Yeah.
But, so he's doing well there.
I like how he went from a teacher to a doctor.
Yeah.
A little upgrade, money.
Jesus. I know, trust the doctor. So while at med school, we're going to learn this guy just loves the scam. Like, his MO is just, like, commit crimes. Some worse than others. So he had an insurance scam going with a classmate where they were going to fake each other's own deaths. Through life insurance and get that money. We got to do our research. Apparently, there's a very lucrative business here.
From all these stories, I'm starting to learn, don't trust people about life insurance and don't trust medical people.
Don't trust medical people. That's 21st wisdom right there. So one rumor, again, I'm not a private eye, but one rumor is he did kill. So he's in med school with this guy and they're committing
life insurance fraud.
There's the thought process that he actually killed the guy. But it turns out he didn't.
He actually killed his friend, but he didn't. Gotcha. How would they know?
That person, well, he doesn't like die in the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
I was like, maybe he took the money and ran away.
Yes. So he's committing all this. He meets the second woman. We're going to do the thing Lonely Hearts did. Second wife becomes Myrta Belknap.
German.
Not an easy name. Wow, he's still married to his first. So now he's got 2 wives going.
Is that legal?
No.
Life insurance policy is about to be taken out.
I'm a little sketchy on this timeline, but at some point he gets a third wife. I don't know if it's before he starts going a little crazy, after. He gets a third wife that he married in Denver. Her name was Georgiana Yoke.
But he divorced the other 2, right?
No, he's still married to all these people. And this isn't like that long of a time span. This is pretty...
And I guess if you move to different states, they don't know.
Who knows?
Well.
Okay. The man we know, H.H. Holmes, moves to Chicago. This is the book. There's a book from the early 2000s, The Devil in the White City. I read it when I was a child.
I didn't.
It's all about Chicago World Fair, history of that time period, kind of the transition from the Wild West into modern architecture. That's the coolest part. Chicago fire. Destroyed everything. Cleared it out. Then skyscrapers. True. It was all the right time, right place.
Yeah.
And the World Fair.
So what we're saying is set your city on fire.
And build from the ashes. Don't do that.
I endorse it.
Woo!
It's so hot. I'm so high. It's so hot. I'm getting higher from that Sharpie.
I know. I do love it. So, Holmes sees his opportunity. He's an ambitious man. Mm-hmm. Moves to Chicago. Officially starts going by H.H. Holmes, probably because of previous crimes he's been in. He's starting anew. I'm
going to spice it up.
Our theme with all of our older people episodes is all you have to do is move towns. You are...
Collect life insurance.
It's crazy that, I mean, just the amount of murder that must have happened in the ease of, I don't know, maybe we're inherently good. Deep questions.
There was probably a lot of serial killers we don't know about.
Right. Can you imagine? Just...
And like you're always shocked when someone in your family commits a crime, but like your family's probably been committing crimes.
Yeah, we all have.
You just don't know.
He buys a lot to build his dream house. His dream house, in his mind, is like a murder castle. I know why you know with this guy. This is American Horror Story Hotel. Our boy Evan Peters.
Oh!
His character.
His character's him. Okay.
Yeah, based on him. So, he gets about making a murder castle. The first floor was the storefront where he ran a pharmacy, though I've skipped over things where he killed people by being a pharmacist. The second story of this building is crazy horror torture town where like long hallways that go to nowhere and like rooms that have locks on all the outside, not the inside. And he would run gas tubes so he could like gas people. And they all had chutes that would go into the basement into like vats of acid that were all greased up and lubed up. He's insane. He has the
money to do this.
So, because he's just scamming everybody, because Chicago is so crazy with the amount of people influx, he's like hiring somebody to build a door and then like firing them mad quick. And so, and they're just hiring and hiring and hiring, and so no one sees the whole picture. And he is allowed to create. It's terrifying. It's like mad scientist shit.
You get torture devices to imagine now you get torture devices delivered from Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? How do you get devices up there? How do you explain that when you're like, I want you to create a chair?
So there's
Dark web.
If don't cite us in your history class, yes, dark web. No, just look him up. He had like a giant safe. That was a weird thing. But he had like a furnace. He was like for glass making, but really it was for burning people. We'll get into a torture question later. So he would kill many a person in this hotel, and then what he would do was strip the bodies and then have skeletons and sell them to scientists and like med schools and stuff using real skeletons.
And people weren't like, where are you getting these skeletons?
He didn't do it often enough to get recognized like that.
Oh, okay.
But he did have a chloroform guy that he bought a lot of chloroform from all the time. Lord knows where his wives are. Yes. They're out of their lives. I mean, that's a good thing in this guy's sense, because he definitely starts killing people, especially women.
Oh, maybe he killed his wives.
Yeah. Holmes, in all of his infidelities, is sleeping with a guy named Ned's wife. It takes Ned a long-ass time to figure this out, which makes me question Ned. And he's just like, I'm leaving. Ned bounces. A lot of filing for divorce is like doing it properly when compared to the other crimes going on.
Yeah.
But at that point, Holmes is like, oh, this has been going on for a year anyway. So he's like, yeah, we love each other after the husband leaves. Then he kills her. But before he killed her, she was pregnant with Holmes's child. So he tells her he will marry her if she has an abortion.
Oh.
And he will be giving the abortion. So he gives the abortion, kills the baby, takes the wife-to-be down to the basement, which is not where you ever want to go, and kills her there. So that's...
And he's like, trust me, I went to medical school.
Trust me, I'm a doctor. It's like, yes, I trust this man who's just dressed nicely. Like, that's his credentials, is I have clothes on. Kind of sad.
This guy just sounds like an asshole.
Well, a lot of people have already pointed this out, but he's interesting in terms of serial killers, which he absolutely is. But, like, the serial killers we know in the 70s who would, like, go and get somebody and, like, kill them. And, like, almost not even in an impulsive way, but, like, he just had a building. He built a building.
Yeah. And he's like,
to murder.
Whoever walks in. He is a type of serial killer, though, that sounds like way too intelligent.
Yeah, this is a classic, like, and so he had the whole power of persuasion, like he could buddy up to anybody.
Well educated. Liked, seems
says he's a doctor.
Yeah, was a teacher, doctor, and pharmacist.
Right.
Property owner.
Sure, there's missing people associated with him wherever he goes, but yes.
A lot of wives.
And especially if you're a young woman in Chicago, just like a doctor.
With a nice house. And
with a landowner? I know, I'd marry him if I knew what it was about.
He sounds like, or he's a liar.
Well, what do you mean?
He didn't get his medical degree.
He's a doctor. In 1890, he's a doctor. I don't know if that's the right date, but... So...
Yes.
He goes on. This is just like a long little run where he meets a new fling, will kill them. So he gets another fling named Emily, kills her. He puts her in the safe.
Oh,
this one's interesting.
Emily, no.
This one's interesting because it's like sick and twisted torture watching somebody die and like maybe masturbating about it. Versus just killing them?
Yeah.
Because, like, one's torture where you're watching the pain versus the other where you just have a dead body.
He liked it. He liked to hurt
So I was just like, oh, torture versus murder. There's a difference. Who would have thought it?
Also, watching someone be tortured that way.
Oh, no thank you. This show's hurt
out.
sometimes. The weird, like, horrifying thing with Emily is apparently he had put some kind of acid on the floor of the safe, and I don't even know why. That's the question, why is there acid on the floor? And, like, she was trying to kick her way out, and there's, like, a foot imprinted on the door, and it's still, like, or was there when the police went and searched it, and they think the only way she could have left a footprint on a metal door is with the acid, and then she was... It's just not a good play.
Crazy.
Yes. That's scary if you're a police officer.
But also helped them convict him. But, yeah, because the body wouldn't be in there. Because he
fucking...
got rid of...
He's got acid vats.
Oh, my God.
And he did put time and energy in this murder with Emily. He had Emily write all these letters to her family saying they were going to get married. Then he kills Emily and changes the dude's name on all those letters written by her and sends those to the family, so no one really comes looking. He's covering his tracks to a degree, but he does lie too much.
Correct. Don't be named Emily.
Yes.
That's the rule of this.
He had another fling with this woman. I'm not even going to say her name because I don't remember
Karen.
But it was a woman and her sister, and they got killed. So, his last wife, this is going on for a long time. He gets one more wife named Georgiana Yoke.
Okay.
Doesn't kill her. And so my question is,
Why?
you know when like sometimes you're like, oh, I let this person go. It's like, what did Georgiana have that Holmes was like, I'm not going to kill this one? Unless it's just like a time crunch. But
or it's like it's like rapists like don't want to have sex with their wives, but...
Right. Yes.
Or the thing where it's a theory of like the wifey versus the hoe, where guys don't like to watch porn that looks like their girlfriend because their girlfriend's like the wifey and then the person in porn is like the hoe. So they don't want the comparison of...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Psychologically could never do that to her, but they could to...
Living out fantasies.
Yeah.
I don't know if that relates to this.
Maybe that's why... Yeah, that's true.
But it might.
Maybe he just wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Have a wife and then kill people.
Yeah. And this one just didn't annoy him.
Maybe he killed all of his flings because they weren't the woman the fourth wife he was looking for.
Right.
So either marriage or be killed.
Right. Choose wisely. A person I haven't mentioned yet, but he's been in the shadows of Holmes's life. Holmes has a literal henchman whose name is Charles Chappell. And they just became friends. Charles had done a little medical work, so he's got that going for him in their friendship of like, oh, I'm comfortable around dead bodies too.
And no one knows at all that he's been doing this. Like, they don't know what's on the second floor, right? Even the wives?
Even the wives!
How do you hide a whole floor in your house?
There's like, just saying like, hey, there was a person there. What happened to them? It's like they left without paying, checked out, that sort of thing.
That's crazy.
So coming and going, because the emphasis is like a transient city of like mad people coming in and mad people dying all the time. And it's like not being that big of a deal. Price of life is cheap. So, that's funny you say that, because Holmes shows...
Charles?
Yeah, Charles must have known everything.
If he showed him the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably helped him, right? Isn't he his assistant?
Yeah, but he was never as directly involved. Anyway,
he was a henchman. He was getting someone for him.
Yeah, true.
Everyone named Charles was trash.
Yes. So he's got that guy going for him. Holmes also has a different friend named Pfizer. That's not his real name. His real name is Pitezel.
Pitezel. Is this a German town? Every last name is like extremely European.
Yes. Things get a little crazy for Holmes because he's killing so many women and there's just questions being asked. What have you? What have you paid for? What haven't you paid for? And all your scams that you're running on the side as well as murdering people. He has a buddy named Pitezel. Pitezel. I'm saying Pitezel for the rest of this video. Germans. He has a life insurance scheme with Pitezel that they're going to get a dead body, make it disfigured, tell the world that it's Pitezel, and then collect $10,000 of life insurance.
At that point, you kind of know he's already up to stuff because you're his little henchman.
Yes.
I'd be like, sir.
This goes, we might have already said this once, but if your friend is a murderer and then wants to use you in a fake murder, don't trust him.
Because he tried this in college already.
Yes.
But no one knows that because
he moved 10 feet away. So, shocker, Holmes actually kills his partner in crime. And Pitezel, you German friend, goes to Pitezel's wife and is like, your husband is hiding somewhere because we pretended to kill him.
Oh, I thought that...
Yeah, so he's covering that track, but you can't talk to him for a while, like that. Classic. But I need your daughter to tell the authorities that this body is Pitezel, which really she's identifying her own dad. Dark.
Ooh.
When she thinks it's not.
That's crazy.
Right. That is
Ooh.
sad. Eventually, again, Holmes is just running wild at this point. He gets 2 other kids from that woman. That woman had a total of 5 kids. He's got 3 of them now.
He's probably like, we'll take you to see Daddy.
Yes, Daddy. You know, he's in the town over. We just got one more town. This goes on for a while. He gets sick of the kids, as we all do. And he kills them. We do not all kill kids. He kills the 3, the little Pitezels.
Little Pitezels.
They didn't have a chance. So, in the end, Holmes, after doing all this stiff, gets arrested, but not for murder, for insurance fraud. And the way that got that, he met some other guy in the past in a jail cell who was a seedy character and got a contact, and then that guy told the authorities he did it.
This is why you can't commit smaller crimes when you're committing a big crime.
Murder.
It's like Ted Bundy, the stop sign.
Yeah.
Or that I watched the college admissions scandal, and Rick Singer, the guy that was helping everyone get their kids into college illegally. He's not in jail, but the only reason he got caught is another guy got arrested for tax fraud and was like, I got a better thing.
Don't trust anyone. They all talk.
Meatballs.
Except for Ray Liotta in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
He took his licks.
Also, the wife.
Dude, not a lot of proactive
Women. These women.
Well, but also just like, take my kids. I don't know. He had the power of persuasion. They said it was like a 1 in a million,
Ted
like
Bundy.
that sort of thing. So he's arrested, found for 4 more murders, but he only found for 4 murders, but he confesses to 30. So somewhere in there, his numbers are around 30 killings. Mm-hmm. A lot of women, some dudes. He gets hung or hanged on May 7th, 1896, but his neck didn't break, so he got strangled to death instead of the quick dropping thing.
Terrible way to go out. But
I think he deserved it.
He deserved it.
His building got caught fire at some point and burned down, and now it's a post office.
Do you think someone set it on fire?
I hope so. I would. If I were related to a victim.
And it's like bad juju.
Exactly. So his quote in one of his memoirs is, I was born with the devil in me, and I could not help the fact that I was a murderer no more than the poet can help the inspiration to sing.
It sounds like a 90s rock and roll song lyric.
It does. He would have persuaded us all. Let us not judge these poor women who were seduced.
I say it's bad.
He had the power.
It's definitely bad what he did, but like, I just saw so many circles
when you stare.
But the fact you go to the lengths to build a murder house.
Yeah, with like acid pits and lime and like
that's
the gas chamber. Listen, this is the example of the person who falls in love with the serial killer. They want something to fix They're like, he's got some creative talent.
Maybe we just won't do it anymore.
Let me come.
I'll help you. Stockholm syndrome.
Stocky.
Is that what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Episode before this camera does any crazy shit. Episode 4.
Thank you for watching episode 4.
Trust the doctor. Trust the scientists.
Don't commit too many crimes at once.
Mwah. Bye.